So every debate about tongues collapses if you start where the scripture starts. Acts chapter 2. Luke defines the gift for you. He says, the apostles began to speak in other glossae, and the crowd heard them each in his own dialectos. Luke uses both words interchangeably. He says glossa, which is language, and dialectos, which is dialect. That's not ecstatic speech. It's real languages miraculously spoken for proclamation. The Spirit's purpose wasn't private experience, it was public witness. Pentecost reverses Babel, not by erasing the languages, but by making the gospel intelligible across them. Every later mention of tongues in Acts mirrors this same pattern: intelligible, translatable, and evangelistic. The miracle wasn't noise, it was clarity. When the Spirit moves, people understand Christ. They don't get lost in syllables. Pentecost proves that God's power is revealed through truth, not confusion. So if Acts 2 shows what tongues are, 1 Corinthians 14 shows what happens when the church ignores that. Paul never redefines the gift. He assumes it's a language that can be interpreted. He says, if I don't know the meaning of the language, I'm a foreigner. He commands, let one interpret. He insists, I would rather speak 5 words with understanding than 10,000 in a tongue. The Corinthian problem wasn't spiritual zeal, it was spiritual disorder. They turned a missionary gift into a spectacle. You dig? Paul's entire argument is about intelligibility. Speech must be understandable, edifying, and orderly. Modern glossolalia, which is what this is, repeats Corinth's mistake. The spirit's gifts build the body, they don't bypass the mind. True spirituality isn't measured by noise, it's measured by clarity, love, and edification. So the phrase tongues of angels sounds mystical and all that until you read it in context. Paul says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, he's using hyperbole. He's not using theology. You understand? He also says, if I understand all mysteries, if I have all knowledge, if I give my body to be burned, no one thinks he literally had all knowledge or burned himself. You dig? He's exaggerating to make a point that love surpasses gifts. Every angelic encounter in the scripture shows angels speaking in human languages: Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek. There's no biblical category for a heavenly prayer language. Paul's rhetoric magnifies love. It doesn't introduce a new gift. You understand? When people build doctrine on hyperbole, confusion follows. We don't build theology on what could exist. We build it on what God has revealed. The tongues of angels argument collapses under context, and love remains the greater gift, according to Paul.